Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the video. This is going to be the end of year book tag. Is that what this is called? I think so. So essentially these are 6 questions about the end of the year and relating to books and all that. And I meant to film this sooner, but I didn't, so it's now here. Also, don't mind me if I'm wearing the same outfit in my last video. I literally filmed that 30 seconds ago. So I have the 6 questions on my phone, so I'll just read them off. Are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? No, although, no. There's no books that I've started that I want to finish. All the books I've started, I wanted to DNF'd, and they're going to either stay DNFs or I might pick them up again in the future, but that future would be next year, not sometime this year. Do you have any autumnal books to transition into the end of the year? Not really. The only book that I can think of that is an autumnal read that I will be reading every year is, let me find it, is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This book I read last October and then I read it this October. And I knew I wanted to read it in October because it's very autumnal, although I don't really think there's any other books. I'm trying to think, but no, I just kind of read what I want to read. Like, there's no specific, like, oh, transition into, like, a new season books for me, really. Is there a new release that you are still waiting for? What is the book that I'm thinking of? Here's to Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera is one book that I'm excited that is like a new release that it gets released in December, and I am excited for that. But I think that's the only one on top of my head that I'm like really, really excited for. I'm quickly just checking my like book releases, because the other release I'm excited for is one that I beta read, so that one doesn't count because it was originally that. Oh, I lied. Liars by Dana Isley. It's a like kind of like not quite it's like a mafia-ish like romance, and it's the second book in the series, and I'm just very excited for that because I loved the first one. So those are, I think, 2 books that I'm excited for. Ooh, 4. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Ooh, I'm not going to include the ones that I've already mentioned. Ooh. I'm looking on my shelf as if, well, here's 2. I really want to read Kingdom of the Wicked and Kingdom of the Curse by Kerri Maniscalco. I'm pretty sure these will be on my TBR for December. And I also really, really would love to get to, I'd also love to get to, let's just go off my list of December TBR so far. Fate and Flames by Miranda Lane, Unforgiven by Angela J. Steffart, Salvation by Karen Licks, Aurora's End by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. I just casually remembered I had those written down. But those are books that I definitely want to try to read before the end of the year. Those are kind of like completing series or catching up on. And then obviously the 2 mentioned before because I've heard such good things about them, and like I own them, I just need to read them. 5. Is there a book that you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? The only 2 that I could think of maybe are maybe one of these, although I highly doubt that. Like, they might be 5 stars, but I highly doubt they'll be my favorite. And like, maybe Hero of Ages might make like my top 10 books of the year, but I think I have most of my favorites like picked out already. Like, I mean, I still need to write out my top 10 books, but like, there's been a lot of good books that I read this year, and I think I do have my favorites locked down, or like, I know they're in the top 10, I just need to figure out the order. And most of December is just going to be getting books read that I want to read before the end of the year, completing some series, catching up on series that are going to be finished or added on to in the beginning of 2022, and yeah. And then, have you already started making reading plans for next year? Absolutely yes. I already know that in the beginning of March, I'm going to be rereading the end of February, early March, going to be rereading the entire the first 3 books in the Blood and Ash series for the 4th book release. I know I'm going to be rereading in January Crescent City, well, House of Earth and Blood for House of Sky and Breath's release in February. I'm going to, what else is my plan? Those are like things that I know for a fact that I'm going to be reading already, so like I guess those I have planned. Holy crap, we're already at the end of the tag. I didn't realize that. I know these answers are kind of a little bit boring, but honestly, this is A, last minute, and B, I kind of just read what I want to read most of the time, like my TBR obviously, but like I'm trying to think, I'm looking on my bookshelves and like I don't really think besides what I have I want to read. I mean, yeah, I think that's kind of it. Like there's a few books I kind of want to reread. Sorry, there's one book that I kind of want to reread before the end of the year, and that's solely because I might have the opportunity to beta read the second. But other than that, I can't really think of anything else I need to say. So yeah, let me know your answers to these questions, what books you want to read before the end of the year, or I don't know, something simple like what's your favorite book you've read this year, or what's a book you think you might like that you'll read in the rest of the year. But I really hope you enjoyed this video, and bye!